Okay, so it's your boy, Young Prince, making my first voiceover for Speedpaint I did of Smokey Glow. I'm gonna be talking about a couple of different things in this video, but I first like to address how the speed paint is kind of starting after the initial sketch has been done and a lot of the detail work has been done. I don't know where the footage went. I didn't care to kill myself looking for it because if it wasn't just glaring at me on my iPad, then it probably isn't there. There's also some footage missing at the end of the final product, so there's just going to be a picture of the final product, but you guys didn't miss much. I'm not necessarily going to be talking about Smokey Glow or anything to do with her because I think the situations that I'm going to talk about are something that started, at least for me personally, months back, just due to some behavioral changes, some things that came out I think only a couple weeks ago, but I personally felt the difference a couple months ago. So let's start off with, bet you can guess it, Rich Lux. Most specifically, Rich Lux's non-apology that I didn't really pay much attention to, but he said some things that me, as a black woman, can't get behind. And I don't know if I said this outright. It's the same concept that I was trying to portray in the Black Boycotts Don't Work video, that I basically am going to vote with my black dollar, and I'm not going to watch him anymore. I am subscribed for him, honestly, I think a month or two ago, or whenever he started being really, really friends with Jeffree, because I don't support Jeffree Star for obvious reasons. And then with that came kind of like a chain reaction where I had to I stopped subscribing, I guess, to and following Justin Daly, Nick Snyder, and now Petty Page as of yesterday, which is really sad for me, but I really just kind of ended up unfollowing everyone because it seemed like they had changed drastically in personality and views, although they swore they hadn't. There was some obvious bias, there were things they weren't covering, and it was obvious that they didn't care about the same things anymore that made me follow them in the first place. So I basically didn't accept Rich Lux's non-apology. He obviously thought he shouldn't have to apologize for it, so I'm not gonna accept what he didn't apologize for. It's simple. But then that being said, let's get to Petty Page because she was the one I had been holding on to dearly. I did not want to unsubscribe, even though I didn't really watch her videos. I would sometimes just play them in the background to give her the view. I had to stop subscribing to her because not because so much I know that her husband's new company or new business venture is everyone's main concern right now, whether this is why she's been leaning away from quote unquote drama community business, etc., so forth. I think she's really trying to become the female Philip DeFranco, cover things that aren't makeup related so much anymore, like celebrity news or gossip, stuff like that. Although Philip DeFranco's actual news sometimes, she's more of a TMZ female version of Philip DeFranco. I really felt like everything had become more about filling her pockets, more so than informing people. I mean, that's fine. Get your coins. I'm not mad. Then there was this, I want to word this, drastic personality change. She began to hang out more with Rich Lux, Nick Snyder. I think Dustin Daly hangs out with him. Well, no, he was in the live stream. Dustin Daly, so on and so forth, all of them. So I guess they patched everything up. Or whatever. It became obvious that the drama channels were seemingly, if not in somebody's pocket as a group, that they were just being out of pocket. I never really liked the name calling, the harassing, the bullying, the 24-hour YouTube drama watch, that kind of thing. I began to kind of feel more for the people they were talking about, and I did what they were talking about the people of. I don't know if I'm making any sense here. This is really hard for me to do. but they felt like they were all in Jeffree Star's pocket. Let me be plain. It felt like they were all in Jeffree Star's pocket. They were in somebody's pocket. They weren't talking about things that are obvious. Jeffree Star's palettes and lipsticks being old or empty or having hair in them or whatever the problem was. They didn't talk about that when that situation arose. They weren't really talking about anything else except for James Charles. I don't think a lot of them talked well, I think they did. They talked about Jaclyn Hill's lipsticks, but I don't even think it was that big of it. I went mostly to beauty influencers, sadly enough, and they were the ones who really, I think I got that information from and through Twitter feeds, but not necessarily from the drama community. And I felt like the drama community started in order to inform the consumer of what beauty influencers were failing to tell us, like that certain videos were ads or product placement, that they were being paid to tell us certain things or to review products. I think we all at one point thought PR was just the free shit they were getting, instead of PR was shit that they were getting for free, but also was getting paid to review, so it needed to be a good review type of thing. So I think it went from drama channels being people who were focused on integrity to people who were just getting paid to talk about something. And so when something wasn't there, I felt like they made something out of nothing, or they dived into things that were no longer makeup related and just had people who wore makeup involved in them, such as like Thomas Halbert. Now I don't talk about the giveaway scam. I'm talking about the Thomas Halbert Jeffree Star situation. Anything to do with fucked over for, or whatever they were calling them, like Manny Muay. What's that girl's name? Because I didn't watch her before. I watched Manny before, but I didn't watch this girl before. The one with the tears. Jeebus. I don't remember her name. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Laura Lee. They were calling them names. They wouldn't leave them alone. Even when they came back, they were pretty much haunting them while these people tried to move on with their lives. I'm not saying I accepted any of their apologies. I don't watch any of their channels, but they were kind of beating a dead horse over and over again. But they weren't beating Jeffree Star's dead horse over and over again with his racist remarks. He got vindicated by Dr. Phil of YouTube, Shane Dawson, and they let it go, and now they're besties and they're getting PR. And it's like, it always struck me at the beginning, these people never really wore makeup. Like, Rich hung out with Luscious Massacre, who is a drag queen, and he wore, I guess, his version of drag in his videos, but he didn't wear makeup normally. Nick Snyder was a model. He was involved in the fashion industry, so I guess I can see that connection. But he didn't necessarily, I don't think, wear makeup recreationally. I'm trying to think of other ones. The only drama channels I can see being more making sense that they made drama channels were like Here for the Tea by Ali. People who wore makeup, whose videos are solely based around makeup. Like, even I watched Peter Mon until Peter Mon-ish came about. Not with John Cookin. I don't fuck with John Cookin. But the one that came after, where Petty Page made the Peter Mon is this or that trailer thing that she never made a video for, released a video for, because she was talking out her ass. That's when I also started to feel a type of way about her when she made that video. I no longer watched Peter Mon, but I thought it was too much. It was overkill. She was beating another dead horse, just to get views or whatever. I felt like a lot of it became childish, arguing, bickering online. It no longer was about protecting the consumer. It was about protecting the pocket or gaining the bag. And that for me is something I can't really get behind. I wanted information, not the personal lives. If I wanted to watch reality TV or to see someone else be trashed online, I wasn't going to drama community for that. I was going for the in on what was happening in the makeup industry and what we weren't being told, and problems people were having with their makeup, so on and so forth. And I feel like it really strayed from that. Now, I also want to talk about, just briefly, because I'd said it wasn't about her specifically, but another reason that I no longer could really fucks with Petty Page was her trash explanation for why she had to bring she had to bring up Smokey Glow in that live. Her not calling Nick and RSVPing for this party and instead making an online video wasn't any of her business. Now, I understand, oh, you don't want to associate with her anymore or whatever, because she's not friends with your friends. I couldn't be me, but I mean, sure, why not? But to then come out and publicly talk about her, an invitation is nothing, okay? She's not going to your party. It's not the end of the world. Compared to the amount of followers they have, I'm pretty sure they have more. It wasn't like it was a hard-hitting blow. Everyone knows what Rich Lux had said, and I mean, as a subscriber of Smokey Glow and not being a subscriber of all of them, I would have also wondered what she was doing there. And it would have made me question her integrity, I'm not gonna lie, because she's so far one of the only honest commentary channels. Well, we'll talk about that too. She was one of the channels that I felt like I could trust. So her coming out and saying specifically that she wasn't going to be at this party, and why she wasn't going to be at this party, she was only bringing it up to bring up the issue with Rich Lux. To me, it was, well, I got invited to this party and I was going to go because I feel like she had mentioned it before that there was this party. She said, well, I've decided that I'm not going to go now because of what happened and because of what he said and because my viewers would be hurt by it, and, you know, my demographic and all that, blah, blah, blah. And she's not wrong. Petty Page going and sitting with a person who said things like that about the black community, that makes me side-eye her, to be honest. All the black women who still follow Jeffree Star after his comments came out, even with his apology video, sometimes I side-eye them. I was, at one point, so defensive of the drama community that the black woman who still stood by Jackiana after she publicly tried to defame and what's the word I'm looking for? She tried to put off that Petty Page had basically hacked into her bank account or whatever. I side-eyed those black women because I don't really support black women coming after other black women. It seemed to me like Jackiana was trying to basically, you know, grab at straws because she'd been in the spotlight or whatever. And in that case, they weren't beating a dead horse. She only made like 2 or 3 videos about her at the time. So I really had, even now, like to a couple months ago, had been really defending Petty, because they're still coming after her. I was defending Petty Page about how it was really just sad how they were siding with, you know, Auntie Jackie over Petty. But now I still don't agree with it. It's still not right. But now I see that she's pretty much become the monster she used to report on, in my eyes, personally. I just can't get behind her anymore because I don't trust her integrity. You're talking to a man who freely said the N-word, whether jokingly or not. I don't care about context. If you're not black, don't say it. That's me. I mean, you can say it. I can't stop you from saying anything, but I'm the type who would just punch people in the mouth for saying it. Simple. Say it and just expect to get your shit rocked. That's me. So for her to come around, it feels like one of those moments where you've got these people who will go around your school saying the N-word and you'd be like, don't say the N-word. They're like, well, I got so-and-so black friend that says I can say it. That's what it feels like. It feels like one of those situations where they've been given the okay. So I just don't, I don't trust it anymore, and I had already stopped trying to trust them because they felt like they were becoming bullies, especially Rich Lux. It felt like he was becoming a bully more so than just telling what was happening in the makeup world, in the makeup community. And I couldn't be behind that anymore. Now, I feel like there's a great distinction. Petty Page said that Smokey Glow had gotten her fame basically from the drama community. That is not true. She got, or her start really, from a beauty influencer. I've been watching her long enough to know that. So that felt like a reach. And it also felt like there was a huge distinction to be made between commentary channels and drama channels. Drama channels come after people. They come after their personal lives. Okay? Commentary channels, they go mostly after, I don't even want to say, okay, drama channels come with receipts after people's personal lives, after the ongoings, in between people, things like that. Commentary channels just give their thoughts. They're not saying this and that, this person and that person, you know what I mean? It's very more laid back, more chill. There's no I feel like there's an aggressiveness in the drama community now that we didn't see before. And I feel like commentary channels just lack that. Like, the Hausfrau, Smokey Glow, other channels like that. There's a lack of aggressiveness that separates them from being drama channels. She has commented on the same subjects as them, but with a different approach. Her approach has been, in most commentary approaches, have been more respectful, more open-minded. They start more a conversation about a topic. They're not really telling it as news. They're saying, oh, this is what I heard, and this is how I feel about it type thing. It's very more emotionally based, and I feel like that's the great distinction. At one point, though, drama channels used to have that aura about them, but they've drastically changed, and I think that's what's made the great distinction. They don't care about makeup anymore, and they haven't in a while. And you can tell by the direction that Petty Page's channel has taken, how Rich Lux, Nick Snyder, Dustin Daly, they all have become more defensive of their actions, who their friends are, the situations. They're all kind of become a whole lot messy. I don't even understand why Dustin Daly was there at the live since Nick and Rich Lux had turned on him so quickly, only weeks before, I believe. Like, I don't know if I've got the timeline wrong or something, but it's all just been a completely hot mess. I hope this was a clear discussion about it, or at least my thoughts on it. I honestly just don't follow any of them anymore. I only follow Smokey Glow, a couple other commentary channels I just can't think of right now because I'm incredibly tired. And yeah, I just can't get behind it anymore. And that's really sad because drama channels used to be my everything. I would risk my job while watching them at work. I was watching them on TV all the time. My husband was new theme songs just like me, just because, I watched it so often in my free time. And it's just really sad where it's gone, but I'm not surprised by it, the direction it took, because of the people that were already involved in it. And then, when they try to take that step of journalism, you have to have that integrity where if you're going to interview someone, you kind of can't be bought, but you wave money in front of some people's faces and they see the bag and the bag only, and integrity is out the window. And I kind of feel like that's what's happened. With Rich Lux, I kind of saw that happening because he always kind of tried to flaunt a false sense of, I don't want to say that. Yeah, I'm going to say it. A false sense of wealth. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with having designer things, saving up to buy designer things, or being wealthy or better off. But I feel like his real life doesn't actually reflect that, but he wants that materialistically. So he needed to make, those connections and to say certain things, to get the bag. And I'm not going to fault him for it. At the end of the day, I don't appreciate him saying the N-word. So, so boldly, so flamboyantly. But it's not the first time I've heard somebody say it, and I'm sure it won't be the last. He's just a name I've crossed off my list. And I'm really happy that now that I started this YouTube series, that I started it now rather than a year ago when I originally wanted to, because I was going to have Petty Page, Rich Lux, and all of them be some of the first faces that I put down as videos, and talk about how much I liked them and what videos I liked and stuff like that. And now I don't feel comfortable doing that anymore because it's kind of a slap in the face that, you know, you have a demographic so largely of people of color, being a person of color yourself, and or seemingly a person racially ambiguous enough to be, like, you know, seen as a person of color, that you've said these very insensitive things without much thought, and then without the compulsion to apologize after. It's insane. But I hope all of that made sense. I hope I was being clear and concise. I will be doing more voiceover speed paints like this. Probably not always talking about quote unquote drama. I feel like this is more commentary or just my feelings about the situation. But yeah. Next time it'll hopefully be something a little bit more tame. I want to talk about the achievements of people as I draw them. I hope everyone's having a wonderful December. This is obviously cut in because I don't know why, but I didn't for this part. Blessed be. Merry Yuletide, Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. Love you, bye.